Welcome to Bill-O-Gami. Today we're going to make this geometric shape. Comes in two sizes, basically. One with $6, this size, rather large, and then this rather small one that only requires 3 bills. Well, we're not going to talk about this today. I'll show you some later day how to easily make that. I'm going to concentrate on this particular shape. A lot of times it's called, if you look on YouTube anyway, the UMULIUS rectangulum. Well, I've looked online and I can't find the word UMULIUS anywhere, so I don't know where that word came from. They also call it magic rings and some other names, but to me it's just a geometric shape. It's got 3 dimensions and it's a shape. Something rather decorative. And I also want to show you at the end of this video quickly how you can really turn this into a very heavy paperweight. It's made up of actually just 3 simple pieces, $2 in each one. Now the very first step in order to make this is to create 6 tubes. These are the same tubes that I use in making the cross. And if you happen to watch that video, you know exactly how to make each one of these, all the same size. Basically, what I'm going to show you is how to make one of these tubes from a standard dollar. I'd like to use a crisper dollar, one that doesn't have any wrinkles, but I've used all those up in earlier efforts to take this particular do-it-yourself, kind of fun exercise. Every one of these 5 sides, this completed tube has to have 5 sides, is 1/2 inch in length, in height, I mean. Normally on a standard dollar bill, the border is 1/4 inch. And so if you go down to where this little white line is, that's usually another 1/4 inch. So what I do, even though you can use a ruler if that makes you feel more comfortable, is I just go to that white line and fold that over. Then what I do is I'll turn this around and I'll fold this, the bottom, bring that up to the very top, fold that in. Then I just fold this one over and this over, so that what we have is we've just generated 5 sides. Now when we open it up, all we got to do is take this bottom one and kind of recrease it, kind of reverse the crease, and there we have our little tube that's all has 1/2 inch sides on it. After you've made all 6 of these, I recommend you do it all at once. Anyway, you get all 6 of those. Then we're going to go and we're going to fold this as necessary in order to get the right creases for, I'll show you, in order to get this length correct and to get this length correct, because again, you don't need a ruler. I mean, it's very, very easy to do. What we do is open up the bill on the face-up side and just fold it in half. That's the first fold. Then what we want to do is we want to take this half here, the right side of George, and fold this one in half, like that, so that it looks like this. Now we don't want the border to show up in the shape, so we fold this end over right at the border there. And because we want this end shorter, that makes it easier to put these things, the 2 pieces together, to have this be shorter. So then what we do is kind of open this up and take this half here and fold that over, like not quite all the way. There's no dimension that really matters. Then we just fold this back. Now we've got all the folds we need. We've got this fold, which is half, or actually a quarter of the length of the whole bill. That's that fold. And then after folding back the little border over here, and we've got this length, which is, matches here. Now, what I recommend, as before, you do all of these bills at once, so that you take some others, and I've only just grabbed 4 of them right here, and you make sure at this stage that they all have the exact same length, both on the short side and the long side. It's very important. And if there's any adjustments, you can make this a little shorter, make it a little longer, whatever you need to do. Same way with this piece here, this length here, because they all need to be the same size, or else your shape isn't going to come out even. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to fold these 2 ends in. Let me twist that over there. And we go like that. Now what we do is, in order to fold this thing, is we take this and fold it over and give that a little crease, because you want that to be pretty sharp. You fold in this side here, again in a 45-degree shape, fold that in. On this one you fold like that, get it in there, and that one, so that when you look at it like this, what you got basically is like a little I-beam, really. And it looks like that. Now you got to decide whether you want this green side up or you want the white side up. If you want the white side up, I recommend you open up the green side first and kind of press that down so that it looks like that. Then you turn it over, and you pull out the white side, and you do it like that. And basically there you've got, 1/6 of your completed geometric shape. We tuck these 2 ends in. Don't need to do that right now. And then again, when you do all 6 of these, you can double check again to make sure that they're all the right length. Because it's very important. Okay, now once you've got all those together, then what you need to do is you need to assemble them, which is very simple. You just, and I forgot to mention, after you've put this end together, crimp it. That makes it easier. Give it a little bit of a crimp, so that it'll be easier to slide this piece in, because you want it as easy as possible for yourself. And that's all you have to do. You might also want to take a letter opener, a screwdriver. I'm just using a little piece from a picture hanger, and slide that in. Make sure, there's no obstructions, so that that piece will fit in and go all the way to the end. Okay, so we put all these together, which is, pretty simple task. You just tuck those 2 short ends in and then close it up. Now, I recommend, if you need to get closer to the end here, that you really pull, don't push. Do as little pushing as possible, because you can crease the side of this fairly easily. I do all 3 to make sure they all fit well before assembling it. Because for the assembly, all we need to do is take 2 of these and put one through it like this, obviously. And then we take this one, the 3rd one, and we put it through the opening. And I recommend, just getting this a little bit out beyond the end here to make it easier. Then this one, we slide that one through so that it basically looks like that. Now again, just like you were doing with your regular assembly, you kind of tuck that pleated end in, fold it like that, set it in, make sure the ends are tight, and this thing should be, there shouldn't be hardly any slack in it at all if it's all been done right. And there you have your completed geometric shape. Now in order to turn this into a paperweight, all you need to do is use AA batteries. Preferably just old ones that you had to take out of your remote controls or whatever you were using them in. And if you don't have 6 old batteries, you can always go to a discount store and buy some very inexpensive AA batteries and use those. Because what we do is, I've got 6 of them in here, and when you hold 6 batteries, that's quite a bit of weight. Is that I'm just going to take this one out and show you that all I've done to add all this weight is I just put the battery inside the long length, and that's it. And so every one of these in this particular geometric shape has, a battery in that long length. They fit in very, very nicely. No problem at all. And then you just, once you've put all those batteries in, then you just reassemble it just as just as you would without the batteries. It really gives it a lot of, a lot of shape, and its size, so that with these shorter sides, that there's no conflict anyway. And it just, there's no way that that's going to get, that's going to serve as a very reliable paperweight to keep things steady. So it's not only decorative, but it can actually be a little bit functional for you. Well, that pretty much concludes all I wanted to cover on this particular geometric shape, as I call it anyhow. If you've got any questions, just write them, down in the remarks column. And if you enjoyed this video and enjoyed making this, just hit the old subscribe button. Thank you very much. Bye.